Michael McDonald, yeah!
Here's a fun fact. Masturbating in a public bathroom is a crime. Yeah, I found out when I was drunk. When the cops first got there, and they put the handcuffs on, I was so drunk I thought it was foreplay. I was wrong. The second time around, they were not as nice, I'll tell you that. You would have thought by then I figured out like maybe I have a fucking drinking problem, but no. I was out with my friends recently, we're having a couple beers, start catching a buzz, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna start giving out free massages. Who does that? This fucking guy right here, right?
Just the water, right?
Problem was, I wasn't out with my friends at all. I was at my neighbor's house. It was his wife I was massaging, and I wasn't invited to the party. I ended up in handcuffs again that night. Yeah, it wasn't a good night. I was playing Frisbee with my son recently, and this is right after we got back from the zoo. I'm sorry, Walmart. You guys know. So we're throwing the Frisbee back and forth, right? He throws it a little high, ends up on the roof. I'm like, no problem, I'm just gonna go grab the ladder out of the shed. Get to the shed, there's no ladder. I do some investigating. I realized that my in-laws, they're Mexican, they took it because they were preparing for the wall. When I told them that they can go underneath, I got home and my shovels were gone. Crazy. And then what? So, I'm not a very handy individual, so I grabbed the only other two tools I have in my shed, a broken mop handle and a crutch from when I sprained my ankle. I'm underneath the roof trying to get this fucking Frisbee down. I see my neighbor in the window like this. He's doing this to his wife. Honey, honey, come here, look. The Neanderthal next door learned how to use tools. Evolution right before our very eyes. I got a problem, it's been a problem that I've had all my life. I have the whitest name out there, but goddamn do I look Puerto Rican. My wife's a Latina, like I said, and for the first 3 months we started dating. She just assumed I was Puerto Rican. I just assumed not to tell her because I was getting laid and I didn't want to ruin that, right? You can imagine her disappointment when she found out the real reason why I don't speak Spanish. You know, you would have thought the shamrocks around the wrist would have been like a dead giveaway that I'm not Spanish. But apparently to her, it just meant I was a lucky Puerto Rican. We got married anyway, and I'm speaking to one of my friends. I was in hip-hop for about 20 years. I was an MC. And I'm speaking to one of my friends. So thank you, whatever. And he's like, you know, back in the 90s, being a white boy in hip-hop wasn't hard. And I was like, yeah, it was hard. But it wasn't as hard as it was trying to pretend like I spoke Spanish for the first 3 months of my relationship. I started running out of shit on the menu that I could actually pronounce. But listen, times were different back then. Now, between social media, the internet, 3D porn, people don't have to leave their house to socialize, learn, or get laid. When I was a kid, Saturday morning, 9 o'clock in the morning, if I was still in bed, my mom would come in my room, flip the mattress, get up, get dressed, and get the fuck out of my house. Didn't matter what it was like outside either. There could be a Category 4 hurricane. There's trees falling to the ground in the yard. But Mom, when I say, get up, get dressed, get out, don't come back for at least 12 hours. Now at the time I thought she was doing this to teach me like social structure because we moved around a lot. You know, go out there, meet some people, do some things, right? No, it turned out she just hated me. First time my mom heard that joke, she was my real name. Justin, you know that's not true. I said, yeah, I know that's not true. Now. 20 years ago was a different story though, wasn't it, Mom? I can't blame her. I was a bit of a bad kid. I got kicked out of 3 schools my senior year. And what happens here on Long Island when you get kicked out of your regular school, they send you what's called alternative school. Now, if you guys have never experienced alternative school, there's your regular school district, there's alternative school, and there's prison. You keep screwing around here, you're gonna end up here. That was the motto on the gym wall, which also happened to be the cafeteria. I have no filter. This has plagued me all my life. It's gotten progressively worse as I've gotten older, right? My wife's the one that has to deal with it. We got a 7-year-old son and we're constantly going to school functions. And my wife's like great with these people, right? They'll come up to her, oh my God, little Timmy did this, this, and this. My wife's like, oh my God, I'm so happy for you guys. And then there's me. Your kid did what? My son did that 9 months earlier. Your kid's slow and he's behind. You better have him catch up before he ends up in alternative school. Bought a house last year. Finally got what every man wants in their house, right? Man cave.
Yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful. Got my man cave set up. I got some people over. My friends walk in. There's a picture of me and my wife on the speaker over there. My friend's like, dude, picture of you and your wife in a man cave. It's a man cave. I'm like, yeah, that's to remind me of why I have a man cave. Are you kidding me? I'll be in there watching TV. My wife will pop her head in. What are you doing? What are you doing? I'm just sitting there watching TV. She'll come in and sit down, try to change the channel, right? I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa. This is the man cave. We got 20 other TVs in this house, right? Go watch that shit somewhere else. If I wanted to watch The Real Housewives of Riverhead, Trailer Park Edition, I'd be in the living room with you. If it was up to me, I'd put a bathroom in here. Next time I came out, my son would be 16 years old, he'd be driving. I'd be like that uncle that stayed at home with their parents for too long because he thought he was going to make it with his band, right? You walk into his bedroom and it smells like cigarettes and sorrow. Speaking of cigarettes and sorrow, you guys ever been in my man cave? Thanks everybody, that's my time. J. Michael McDonald on Twitter, J. Michael McDonald on Facebook. Give it up for Jeff Shipley, the host.